Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Tuesday, October the 2nd, 2018. My name is Doug McKay, founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do not know what the market's going to do. Therefore, we have multiple plans. We wait for the market to open up, show us who's in control, and then execute the plan that best suits the market. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. It's not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to in the pre-market session, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, your own risk metrics. Okay, taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open test drive, a move down into the 31 area, and initiative buyers taking control and having a drive up into the overnight high, into the naked VPOC at 40, and then chopping and then getting a push up into the all-time highs. For the most part, that's what we saw in the morning. Now, hypo 2, and this is a good example of how you shift from one hypo to the next. Hypo 2 was an open auction, out of range, a push up, and a break of the high, a takeout of the 40, and then failure, and then rolling over and coming down and chopping sideways between the 25 and the 35, and then with possible late day probe down into testing the value area high. That was hypo 2. So we basically did not get the continuation on hypo 1. Then we sort of went sideways and we started to roll over on some news and basically transitioned into hypo 2. And this is what we ended up with hypo 2. Hypo 3 was a breakdown day and failure to take out the naked VPOC at 40 and a quarter, and then move down into value and go sideways inside of yesterday's value, closing around the 19. So hypo 3 didn't play out, and then 4 was a trend day up into the 2960 area, and that didn't play out. But we got hypo 1, which basically got the main targets but did not get to the all-time highs. Then we transitioned to hypo 2, and hypo 2 played out almost to the tick. We had the late day probe down to the 2250. We talked about that. Go look at the video from yesterday, and you'll see. So take a look at today's news. Where did my news go over there? We've got 5 minutes. We've got Red Book, but that's not really big. 55 minutes. We've got ISM, New York business conditions. 10 o'clock, we've got Fed Corals speaking. 11:30, we've got the 4-week bill auction. 12 o'clock, we've got Powell speaking from the Fed. And then we've got car sales, truck sales, domestic car sales, truck sales, total vehicle sales later on in the afternoon. And then the API weekly crude oil stock, at the market close or during the start of the ETH session. So not a lot of big economic news, but we do have a couple Fed speakers, which is important to pay attention to. And of course, we still have all of the headline news now that the NAFTA deal is out of the way. I'm sure the rhetoric is going to go heavy on China. And we do have now Italy threatening to pull out of the euro. And a lot of chatter about Brexit and European Union over the course of the Globex session. So taking a look at the bigger picture, each day I like to start my day with a simple candlestick chart, and I start on a monthly. I do this every morning as an exercise. I do it in here because I want people to get into the same habit. And it doesn't have to be necessarily this idea, but you have to be thinking about the bigger picture and where we are in terms of the trend of the larger time frames. On the monthly, we still have this very strong trend with continuation. We don't even challenge the trend until we get into the low 2800s, okay, over 100 points below where we are. So even a pullback in a bigger scale doesn't violate the overall trend. So you don't have to get overly bearish for pullback. That would be natural. Same thing with the weekly. The weekly trend doesn't get challenged until we get to the 28.91.50. On the daily, we've lost some slope and separation, and we've been testing the trend and challenging the trend, but we haven't violated. We don't violate the trend really until we get below the 2909, 2907 area, and then we could possibly see a change on the daily with a pullback to the weekly to challenge that. And that's what I'd be looking for. If we break the 2909 area, I'm looking for a move down into the 94 to 88 area, and that would challenge the weekly. And that would start to give us a clue that maybe we're going to get a bigger pullback. But is the overall trend and the all-time highs done? I don't think that's the case until we break the monthly. Anyway, that's a bigger picture thought process. On the intraday, you can see that we're creating a consolidation area here. Again, it shows up clearly in the structure. We're in this wide range of balance that we created after breaking out of the prior balance and going up and making new all-time highs up at the 29.47 in the Globex and 46.50 in the RTH. Going to the 30-minute, we were seeing a downward trend on the 30-minute. Good slope, good separation, price paralleling the 9 nicely. Then we come down and we find the buyers down here in the 1750 area, our Globex low, and now we're starting to come up and we're getting a possible trend change on the smaller time frame picture. Now I'm just going to go down one more to the 5-minute, and you can see that once we got down and found our buyers, we started this upward trend, and we just came down and challenged it, and they're popping back up again. We do have a weak local high here at the 27 area, so I'm looking for possibility of continuation. Looking at it on structure, so just let me bring this back here. We had this micro composite that was this balance after putting in a prior all-time high, and we created this value here at the 28.95 area. Then we broke out above the prior VPOC at 29.0150, accepted value higher at the 12 area, and then we gapped up, put in the all-time high, and then we came back to that area that we accepted prior, retesting, picking up late buyers, accepted value higher again at that 19, and then we had our gap up day on the Sunday open, and so far we're holding above this 19. We did test below and down to the 1750, so we came down in the Globex and tested that 19 again, and then they bounced, and right now we're trading in around the 26 area. I've expanded this profile in because I want to see if this longer time frame shifts higher up to this 19. That's the next thing that I'd be looking for. If we come back to that 19 again, I'll be looking to see if this holds and we get the value shifting higher. That'll indicate that if we get the shift higher and we hold above it, that they've accepted that value again, and then we're looking for the next leg up and continuation. If we get the shift, okay, and we immediately break down after the shift, then we could see the sellers taking control, and we could see the trip back down to 94, and I'll be waiting to see if we get the shift back down. This doesn't have to happen, by the way, but it's something, it's an extra clue that I'm waiting for the market to show me. Okay, we just had, the retest of this 19 area, and we bounced. So right now, this 19 area, I'm actually using the 1675 as my key line in the sand below, because if we don't hold that, then we're likely to come down into this 12 area and test that 9, and then this is our key support. Anything below 9, I think we're going to push down into at least the 290150 to 2894, but possibly even down to the lower side of the value, and that would take us down to testing the weekly trend, okay, at the 9 EMA on the weekly at the 2888 area. Key levels to pay attention to is this level right here. You can see that the value area of the smaller time frame, the profile from last week, and the value area of the longer time frame that goes from 824, they're in alignment. So I'm using this 30 area as my over underline. Above it, I'm looking for the push up into the 36. 36 is my key line in the sand. If we can get above that 36, then I think we make a run for yesterday's high at 42 and a push through into equalizing the all-time highs at the Globex 47 and the RTH 4650. So that's what I'm looking at in the big picture. Taking a look at the overnight inventory. Overnight inventory is pretty much 100% net short. We opened and we immediately started selling off, and then we got down to this 19 area and the buyers started stepping in. You can see we've got a fair amount of volume that came in at this area in around the 1850, and then we started stair stepping up and we're walking up. We just tested that 27 LVN and failed, and now we're coming back up to it on a second shot. The value area high right now is 2675 in the Globex with the VPOC at 2475. So I am looking for balancing of inventory. We do see some weakness coming in. So I think we're going to get a two-sided auction today. So I'm really watching that 30 area for failure. In the 30 area, I'm looking for the move back down into yesterday's value. I'm sorry, not yesterday's value, into Friday's value, and coming back into this 19 and chopping down here, and then we see if we get that microcomposite VPOC shift from the longer time frame up here. So in terms of levels, I'm using the overnight high as my over underline. It's kind of behind the overnight high right now. My key line in the sand above is the 3675. Above that, nice easy move into the 39 and a test of the 42, and then anything above yesterday's range I think it gives us moves into putting in new all-time highs. The 20 period full session daily ATR is running at 2079, so off of the overnight low of 1750. Our upside daily ATR target is 38. You could use 38 as your key line in the sand, but if you move it up, I would move it to 39 personally. But the key here is the reason why I'm using this 3675, because it's a key area of where they tried to hold value. It is prior support from yesterday, and we're likely to break through the daily ATR, which means then we're going into range extension, and we could get a trend type scenario up. The overnight high, of course, is at 3075, so the daily downside ATR target, yep, I don't make these levels up. You can see how these levels are just playing out. Here it is down at that 2909 and a quarter. Okay, we've got the former smaller time frame microcomposite from last week, or from 913 to 17 down here at the 2912. So in terms of hypotheses, Hypo 1 and Hypo 2, equally weighted. I know that's been happening a lot, but that happens when we're in large balance areas. So Hypo 1, we have seen some weakness. I'm looking for an open auction uh, out of value, but inside a range. I'm looking for a move up to take out the overnight high, and somewhere between the 30.75 and the 39 area, I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in and rotate us down, come down and close the gap from Friday, chop in this area, and then start walking our way back up and basing and closing somewhere, okay, in value from yesterday. That is my Hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction in range, out of value, a move down to test the 22, push down, test this 19, take out the overnight low, find buyers, and then walk us up, okay, and take us up into the 39 area, chop in this area, and basically go sideways with a possible late day probe, up to test the prior day range high, and but ultimately coming back and closing, somewhere in here in the 35 to 39 area. That is Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a trend day, a open auction, failure to take out the overnight low, push up, initiative buyers taking control, coming up and chopping between the 39 and 42 early, probably even within the initial balance, and then pushing up through the all-time high and making new all-times and trending up into the close on new all-time highs. And then Hypo 4 is a breakdown day, open auction, failure to hold inside a value and move up to balance the inventory, take out the overnight high, and then having sellers take control, rotate us down into this 19, chop between 19 and 22, and then fail, break the key line in the sand, and come down and challenge this 29.09 and a quarter with a possible late day probe down into the 29.01. 50 to 29.02 area, and then going sideways here. And at that point in time, I'd be looking for continuation, down into the 94 to 88 area, in the following sessions. So those are my main hypotheses. There is a fifth hypothesis, which is a inside day. Because of the fact that we're still in this balance, this large balance area, we have to put this as a possible probability and a failure to break below the 2250 or the 42, and basically just further auction this area, and chopping between the 39 and the 25 area and going sideways on a tight range day. So those are my main hypotheses for ES. Quickly take a look at gold. Now, somebody was asking me why I don't do a more comprehensive session on gold, because I got to keep these sessions to the low side. Not everybody trades gold, like I do. Why did this get moved? We continue to chop in the balance that we're in. I thought if we broke the 92, we'd get the move down to 89, which we did, and anything below 89, I was looking for a bigger move down. But hey, look what happened. They found buyers again, and we're right back up in the 1202. My initial thoughts, if you go back and watch the videos, my thought is this is a basing pattern, and the next leg up is into the 1233. And I thought that I was going to be wrong, but here we are, right back, right at the microcomposite VPOC. So in terms of levels to pay attention to, 1190 today, and then a break 1190, see if they come down and then get below that fractal low at 8430 and through this 80, and then that would give more confirmation to the move down into the 1150 area. But if we can accept this 02 and get above the 1205, then I'm looking for a move up into the value area high here at the 12, 13, 14 area. And then my original hypothesis that the next leg on gold will be to the upside and up into that prior balance, okay, up here in the former microcomposite and the VPOC up here at 1233, and eventually start working our way back up to the 13s and the 1305.60, which is the adjusted all-time, I'm sorry, not all-time, adjusted micro or composite VPOC that goes all the way back to October the 24th, 2008. This is still going to act as a magnet as we get back into the upper 1200s. So that's what I'm looking at. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.